السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.
May I know what's your name?
My name is Katia. My Muslim name now is Aisha.
Oh, mashallah, Aisha. I want to ask you, Aisha, what were you before you became Muslim?
I was Russian Orthodox. I was Christian.
MashaAllah. So you are actually from Russia. You were born there?
Yes, I was born in Russia, in Omsk, and then I came here. So I've been here for about 12 years.
MashaAllah. And how long have you been Muslim?
About a year and a half.
MashaAllah. What kind of person were you before Islam? Were you a religious Christian or just an agnostic Christian, or what kind of?
I think I would have been more religious if my family was. My family was not really that religious, so when I came here, I was looking for this, this part of me. I was constantly looking for something to belong to, And I've tried different, branches of Christianity. A lot of my friends were Pentecostal, Catholic. My stepdad is Catholic. And so I would try and kind of fit in. I would try to go to the church masses, and I really enjoyed some of them. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about people, but I did find a lot of, and this is everywhere, but I did find a lot of hypocrisy. There's a lot of people who I saw that put on this face inside the building. As soon as they're out of it, completely different people, completely different personalities. So that kind of really pushed me away from a lot of religious groups, And then, I don't know, it's just in different religions besides Islam, there's a lot of things that don't fill up these gaps, and there's a lot of questions that are left unanswered.
Aisha, I want to ask you, now, what was the key for you to become a Muslim? Have you seen a Muslim before in Russia, or is
No.
that something that, what really made you to think about Islam as a religion?
Maybe I have seen Muslims in Russia. I've never seen a hijabi. I wear a hijab. I've never seen a woman covered. So perhaps there were Muslims, not that I've ever seen any who were covered, who were obvious to the eye. But I had a friend. Her name is Salali. In high school, and she was the only girl that I've ever seen who was covered. And to be honest with you, I was never thinking I respect her religion and I'm proud of her because she's got this faith. It was the other way around. I always thought it was kind of strange, I said, okay,
she's weird.
Yeah, maybe not as much as weird, but I always found it strange. I said, she's the only one. And in a way I thought, okay, good for her, whatever makes her, go for it. But it was rather interesting. And I've had some friends, but they weren't as religious as maybe, some Muslims you meet. And the best thing I've learned when I began to research about Islam is somebody said to me, do not judge Islam by Muslim. Because Islam, there's one pure thing. But Muslims, there's so many different color, different, race, different culture, different everything, and everybody practices Islam in their own completely different way. Everybody dresses differently, everybody has their own traditions, and that's I think a lot of times what makes people be really surprised, because they see, for example, me, the way I dress, they don't even realize sometimes that I'm Muslim. They ask me if I'm Jewish because they expect Muslim women to have the face cover, yes, and all black and not even be outside. And it's strange because how different people practice it at their home country does not necessarily mean that's what Islam is all about. And so the biggest thing I think that turned me to it is unfortunately after what happened in 9/11. Along with all the rest of my classmates, my high school, because this happened when I was in high school in J.J. Peterson, everybody started pointing fingers, and everybody started spreading these rumors and automatically believing that this one particular group is the one to blame for every problem in the world, especially 9/11. And just like my peers, and I see that not just in 9/11, but every day, everybody, especially I feel like being here and having the outside eye, I see that people here sometimes give up on thinking for themselves, and a lot of times they rely on what their other peers or family or media tells them to believe and think. And so just like everybody else, I was in this big mush pit of thinking, they hate us, we should hate them back, and we should do something about it. And it did really make me, I guess, upset enough to look into it. And alhamdulillah, I think that things do happen for a reason. And I'm not saying that such a horrible thing happened for me, but
by the way, you're not the only one who became Muslim just because
yeah.
of 9/11. There's many people actually. It was like the whole turnaround that people start to know and start to question about Islam. So this is normal for you to come and question what is Islam after 9/11.
Because, like I said, I have some friends. I had some friends, not so close to me. I had some friends in high school who were Muslims, who people I would never even think that would even do such thing or even think. So here's a group of people pointing their fingers at Muslims, and I was like, okay, I want to be one of those people who points, but I want to know why I'm pointing. I want to know why I'm blaming these Muslims. And I did. I began to read a lot, and I began to look into it, and I began to talk to a lot of people. But it wasn't like, tell me. So, you know, in Islam, do you teach people to blow up themselves? And it's the most ridiculous thing that actually people sometimes joke with me about. But yeah, really, it's that made me truly look into. And it doesn't have to be this scholar. Is that even the right word? Right. Scholarly study of Islam. It doesn't have to be anything huge. You don't have to go attending classes. Little bitty 5-page booklets that, you know, that teaches you why you should wear hijab, you know, pure modesty, you know, and why, and this kind of stuff, little by little, little steps really make you.
Well, we have rumors here between people, especially the Arab Muslim Christians or even the Christians. They say, "Oh, you became a Muslim because you love a man or because of a boyfriend that is Muslim or anything like that." Do you think, was that did that apply on your life or
no? Almost every single person, and even the friends that I have right now, the Muslim ladies that I have right now. That was the first thing. Oh, mashallah, thank God, sister, you became Muslim. Who is he? Who's who? Who is the man who brought you? And everybody thought that it's either some kind of boyfriend relationship or fiancé. And I said, no. And I mean, I'm telling you, even the sisters, the friends that I have right now, everybody was kind of like in surprise, like, really? There's nobody, no marriage, nothing involved? And I was like, no. I mean, it really sometimes takes a person. You know, you don't have anything to do on Friday night. Pick it. You have internet. You know, find out. Not about what people say, but what it's supposed to be. And so it's really just my interest. No, it wasn't any kind of friends.
Now, you know, how was it when you became Muslim? You just came here, or how was like the story you became Muslim?
I still work in the mall. Back then, I had a friend, and she brought me to the masjid. It was the richest masjid in Dallas. And she just said, go talk to people. And I said, what am I going to say? You know, I don't even know how to put this thing on. So it was pretty obvious that I was a new person. And I wasn't even a Muslim back then. It was just for me to see, like, you know, to see what happens during the whole process. And I found out this lady came up to me. And the one thing that she said that still I rerun in my head all the time, her name is Pam, by the way, who was an American convert. She says, you know, Katia, don't think about this in a very big scheme, you know, don't think about this like, oh my God, what am I going to do? There's so much to learn, and, you know, begin to freak out, because a lot of people, they have this tremendous paranoia almost, like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the good thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? And so a lot of people actually, you know, kind of quit because they're so, but she says, just to look about it, at it this way, you know, all of this, she brought up the funniest example, you know, that movie Matrix? She says, think about it this, all of this is just a test. Okay, all of this is just something that's, you know, not as real as what it's going to be afterwards. You know, some people tell you harmful things, some people do harmful things to you. You know, you get mad, it's normal reactions, the human reaction to get mad, to, you know, react in the same way. And she says, take all this, everything that happens to you as a test, as something that, you know, just to see how you react. And because after that, everything's going to be a lot better.
MashaAllah. And after you became Muslim, how was your parents or your friends' reaction about that? Would you talk about that, or do you think it's a little bit sensitive?
Oh, no. No, it's not sensitive. My friends, I have definitely, I want to say lost friends, but at the same time, there was another lady who came up to me, because I was really, it was kind of hard time for me back then, and she was asking me the same question. She says, you know, what about your friends, you know, because it's expected, you know, because you go out with them, you do the same thing, all of a sudden you say, look guys, I don't I don't hang out at clubs anymore, and all these things. And then the same group of people may kind of go, okay, well, we'll call you, okay? And so the same friends, I want to say I've lost friends, but at the same time, she said once, you lose one, but you gain 10 others. You know, this is like a good test for you to see which one of the people are your real friends and which one of them are worth losing, because the people who will turn you back on you either should do it now and you know it, or later on when you expect them to be there for you.
What about your family?
My family, my family had it hard, but it's so weird because at the time that it happened, they were terribly angry and confused, but at the same time for them it was more like a game. It was kind of like, I bet you won't do it, you know. I was like, yeah, right.
Phase, right.
So yeah, they were thinking, okay, let her do it, fool around. Now it's been almost a little less than 2 years, well, a year and a half. And actually right now it's a little bit harder because as it progresses and as they see that I'm getting serious about this, you know, because I'm not taking this off and I'm not going partying, and I am a better person, you know, because I'm more willing to, I don't know, do something like, yeah, you know, I have an elderly lady. Sometimes I'd rather like go over there and spend some time like maybe cleaning her apartment. My mom's like, well, why couldn't you come shopping with me that time? And it's right now it's still there. Like this tension is still there. But I do, yeah, it takes time. But a lot of people think that people, you know, parents get used to it and then it's over and it's all good. But actually, a lot of times it's the other way around, because the longer they see you being a Muslim, the more they might get angry. But I promise, like, it's all worth it, because the more they see you being a better person, the more they become sweeter about this.
Okay, the last question I want to ask you: what message would you give to the world after you became Muslim?
What message would I give to the world?
In general.
Everybody is looking for something to cling to, you know? Everybody is looking for something that inside they know that they're doing good. And a lot of us here, you know, we have our freedoms, we have our rights, we have everything. But at the same time, we have this tremendous shallowness, you know, and emptiness, because with all the things that you have, it seems like nothing is, it's all falling through your fingers, you know? You grab so much, but there's really nothing left in it, in your palm. And it's not something that you should grab onto, but it's something that you should keep in your heart. And Islam is something that I've never ever seen anything like this before, felt anything. It's one thing that completely goes in pieces. It's a big puzzle that has perfect pieces. And this is not just me saying this, you know, because you're asking me to, but I swear, like, that's what I've noticed, because I've had so many questions whether or not I should cover, whether or not I should stop going out.
There's an answer for everything.
There's an answer for absolutely everything, and this is the only thing, plus this is the only religion and way of life that I've seen that goes hand in hand with science, and I'm very much of a science fan.
All right, thank you so much. I really
thank you.
appreciate it. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you.